Good morning, everyone. Please hold on while we wait for more participants to join us. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to IChemE, University of Nottingham, Malaysia, IChemE POPSIG Roadshow. Everyone, before we proceed, kindly scan this QR code here. This Slido QR code, you can leave your questions here and we will read them out later during the Q&A sessions. Also, if you see a question you like, please do click the like button on the question as we will read out the most liked question first, followed by the ones at the bottom. But without further ado, everyone, please welcome Professor Engineer Dr. Liew. Professor Liew is the Dean of the Faculty of Science and Engineering in the University of Nottingham, and we are honored to have him here today. Professor Professor Liew, sorry, I pass the mic to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to see the organizing of IChemE POPSIG Roadshow consists of a series of webinars and virtual plant visit jointly organized by IChemE POPSIG and University of Nottingham, Malaysia, IChemE Student Chapter. The themes are including looking into the role of chemical engineers in palm oil industry, and also virtual visit to a MSPO-certified palm oil mill. It is hoped that our students who participate in this program, in this event, would expand their horizon and have a better idea about the role of chemical engineer in palm oil industry, as well as the processes and unit operations applied in palm oil processing. I hope our students take full advantage of this event and gain as much knowledge and industry practices. I also hope that our students participate actively in the Q&A session and gain insights from the experts. I would like to thank all experts from industry who participate and join this event today. They are Mr. Vincent Tiang from IOI Penn Century Oleochemical, Sdn Bhd, Johor, also a representative from IChemE POPSIG. Ms. Liew from Desmet, Ballestra, Malaysia, Sdn Bhd, also a representative from IChemE POPSIG. Puan Noraisyah, Zulkawi, Manager, Food and Nutrition, Science, Environment, Sustainability Division, Malaysian Palm Oil Council. Engineer Luen, a professional engineer from MSPO-certified palm oil mill. Your participation and your support to this program and to the University of Nottingham, Malaysia are highly appreciated. Can I borrow your hands and let us give our VIP guests a round of applause, a virtual applause by pressing the thumbs up button many times. At the same time, my sincere appreciation to the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, IChemE Student Chapter for organizing the event, communicating with the experts from industry, putting together a series of talks and a virtual plant visit. Again, can I borrow your thumbs? Thank you all committee members. It is with immense pleasure that I welcome all VIPs and all students to the University of Nottingham, Malaysia IChemE POPSIG event. I hope you have an engaging, a fruitful and a productive event and discussion. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Professor Law. Now, before we begin the talk, once again, do scan this QR code over here and leave your questions in this Slido link here. Also, do be reminded that later we will have a quiz about what the speakers have said, and there will be prizes for the quiz. So do note down any important points during the talks later. Now let's take a minute to scan this QR code. All right, moving on, I would like to welcome Mr. Vincent to tell everyone about IChemE POPSIG. Vincent, I pass the mic to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Henry. So, and thank you very much for the the keynote speech from Professor Law. So, good morning, everyone. Before I proceed to my presentation, just want to make sure if hello?
Yes, Mr. Vincent, we can hear you.
Yeah, all right, that's great. So now let me share my screen. All right, you all can see my slide, right?
Yes, Vincent. Yes, we can see.
All right, thank you. So once again, a very good morning to everyone. Thank you very much for joining this IChemE at University of Nottingham University Roadshow. So my name is Vincent Tiang. So I'm a chemical engineer in IOI concentrate oleochemicals in Jalan Berhad. Today I'm representing IChemE POPSIG as the University Roadshow Director to present and also to introduce to all the participants here today about POP. So before that, before we talk about IChemE POPSIG, so I just want to give a little bit of brief introduction about IChemE Malaysia. So actually, IChemE, which is Institution of Chemical Engineers, is actually an organization which is based in UK, but it also has several offices in other regions, which includes Malaysia. So our patron for IChemE Malaysia is actually Her Royal Highness Queen of Perak Darul Rizwan, Tuanku Zara Salim, who is also a chemical engineer herself. Right, so this one a little bit about IChemE. So we have more than 37,000 members based in 100 countries. So the number of members is continuously increasing, and IChemE has offices in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, and Malaysia, as well, and the is headquartered in UK. And IChemE is a lead. And IChemE is also a publisher of a magazine called The Chemical Engineer. So those who are members of IChemE, I believe you all are very well familiar with this magazine, as IChemE will issue this magazine monthly through emails. Then IChemE is also active in providing international events and also training. In addition, IChemE also awards Chartered Chemical Engineer status to its members who are having the expertise in their related fields related to chemical engineering. And IChemE is also one of the very few organizations that awards professional process safety engineer status. Right. All right. So that's which is the introduction of IChemE Palm Oil Processing Special Interest Group, in short, POPSIG. So before that, we gratefully acknowledge our sponsors, which is the sponsors of POPSIG, which includes this one, Malaysia Palm Oil Council, MPOC, Desmet Ballestra, and Malaysian Oleochemical Manufacturers Group, MOMG, and the members are the companies below. And also also Monash University Malaysia. So those who are interested, or those who are currently are looking for internships, you can actually consider all the companies listed here. So who are we? IChemE Palm Oil Processing Special Interest Group, or POPSIG, is actually one of the committees of IChemE members. So actually, inside IChemE, we have this thing called Special Interest Group, which POPSIG is actually formed on August 2015 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So this is POPSIG is the only special interest group within IChemE that is formed in Malaysia, and POPSIG functions to provide a forum for exchange of ideas, sharing experience, and encouraging innovation of palm oil in the palm oil processing industry. So POPSIG also consists of volunteers who are passionate about palm oil industry and process engineering. So that being said, the volunteers within the interest group will comprises not only chemical engineers, but also other practitioners who are involved in the palm oil industries. So just for your information, this one last year, August 2020, we celebrated our 5 years of excellence. So actually for this year, now we already have this one. So this year is our 6 years lah. So it has been a very active group within within the IChemE this one platform. So what are the objectives of the special interest group? So I mentioned earlier in my previous slide, but here are more details. So first, POPSIG functions to share and promote best practices in palm oil processing industry. This not only we are not only talking about the palm oil plantation, we are talking about the whole palm oil value chain from plantation to the mill, to refinery, and to the downstream processes. So, and then POPSIG also functions to encourage innovation in processing oil palm products. We also promote professional aspects of the palm oil industry, and most importantly, POPSIG as a focal point for all those who are interested in the process aspect of the oil palm industry processing. So, POPSIG is about what does POPSIG do? So these are the few activities that we have done throughout the these have been conducted within the special interest group, which so these activities first includes the technical seminars. We conducted seminars, forums, workshops, webinar, and also physical evening talks. So unfortunately now due to COVID-19, so we have limited physical events. These are all the events that were conducted during pre-COVID period, but it doesn't. This COVID doesn't restrict us to continuously promote the best practice about and the information about palm oil industry. So now instead of physical events, we are converting most of our activities into virtual. So like virtual seminars, virtual forums, and workshops. Okay, so we also conducted sharing. So previously we have organized this on-site visits to KLK. We also visited Emery Oil Chemicals and Oleum. So this this kind of site visit just provide opportunities for the members and the students to have a more insight about the palm oil processing industry. And also POPSIG, we also publish our newsletters, so as shown in the slide here. So inside our newsletter, we will also showcase the latest development and also latest the news in regards to the palm oil and the entire industry. We also POPSIG also provides student bursaries. So the bursary is a financial assistance for the undergraduate or postgraduate students to attend scientific conferences, workshops, or forums which are related to palm oil processing. So the main objective of this and support the research in palm oil processing. So the photo here actually shows one of the our bursary recipients. Besides that, we also have this POPSIG Best Final Year Design competition. So the purpose of this activity is to encourage the universities to introduce palm oil processing design for their final year students. So this is our kind of the annual activities, which is open to all the final year students to participate, to showcase your ideas, to showcase your ideas and your interest in palm oil processing design. So this is one of our design award recipients in 2020, which is Harrow University Malaysia, and where the recipients is from UCSI. So moving forward in the next year, we will still open up this this design award, which I will explain in detail later. All right. So apart from that, we also have outreach activities. So as you can see in the photo here, our POPSIG members, founding members, are very active in engaging and outreaching to the to other concerned parties with to talk about this palm oil processing industry. So we have engaged radios before. We also went to the forum. We also engaged the ministries, and we also engaged with the other government agencies like MPOC. Right. And also IChemE POPSIG is also part of this one. Is to showcase and appreciate all the best practices in regards to the palm oil industry. This is also an annual award, part of the IChemE Malaysia calendar. Okay, so and in addition, so POPSIG also organized this university roadshow. So like what we are doing now, which is a university roadshow. So the roadshow, we actually started doing the roadshow since 2019, which we have visited 24 universities that offers chemical engineering courses. So this university roadshow functions is a platform to let the undergraduates to get more understanding about palm oil, the product, and also about the industry, and also to let them know what are the opportunities available in the palm oil processing industry. Detail in this the event. So when we started the University Roadshow back in 2019, the event is primarily is actually being done in physical format, which means that we visited the university to do the event since the COVID-19 outbreak. So we have also adapted with the scenario, and then we changed our roadshow format to virtual, like what we are doing now today with Nottingham universities. So we have done 4 virtual university roadshows before, which include the universities below, such as Tiang University, Swinburne, UMS, SEGI, UTM, UPM, UNP, and UTB. Right. So our recent virtual roadshow is actually conducted in the East Malaysia. Okay. So, right. So this one again about the IChemE POP. As I mentioned earlier, we are showcasing the latest development about the palm oil processing industry. So we are open for all the submission regarding to your ideas or your study regarding the palm oil processing industry. So feel free to submit your articles to the email shown here. All right. So this one is a more recent development within the POPSIG. So actually, I believe actually now the whole is now IChemE, the United Nations is having this UN climate change conference in UK, which is coming soon. So not only IChemE, but actually IChemE POPSIG is also we are also developing this one action plan that outlines which outlines the plan and initiatives for contributing to the climate change. So if you are interested to know more details about our here, I believe the slide this slide will be shared to you all for after this event. So for more, you can access all the this one the link in the slide. And yeah, so I believe that's most that's it about our what POPSIG is doing. So now I would like to share with you all about the upcoming events that POPSIG is planning to do. So, and also for your information, all our events conducted are actually free of charge and open to all. So if you're interested, you kindly visit our IChemE website and also our social medias for more details. So we have a lot of social medias here, which include LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and Twitter. So we recently established our Telegram accounts. So we highly encourage you all, those who have So what are the upcoming events? So first we have this MPO webinar series. So this one is a Monash industry palm oil platform. So it's a collaboration between Monash and IChemE POPSIG, which the speakers are Tan Sri Emeritus Professor Dr. Augustine and IR Kwok Seng. So they will be talking about palm oil. Is palm oil better than olive oil? And also is saturated fat healthy, which mainly focus on the nutritional and health benefits about palm oil. So this event is actually on November 8th, which is next Monday. So those who are interested can join, can kindly register through the link shown in the slide here, which also will be shared to you later. And we also have the environmental sustainability in palm oil sector in Malaysia, impact challenges and way forward. Yeah. So our presenter is actually Mr. Randolph, Senior Environmental Consultant and Director from ERE Consulting Group. So he will be presenting how the palm oil sector responds to environmental sustainability, which is a very highly discussed topic within the industry. So this event will be held on November 9th, so from 6:30 to 7:30 Malaysia time. On 14th, we have a very special experience sharing session, which is entitled Women Working in the Palm Oil Industry. So our presenter is actually Ms. Husna Hamiza binti Noh Haslan, Logistics Executive at KLK Palm Oil Sdn Bhd, and she's also a PhD candidate in UITM. So she, being a woman working in the palm oil industry, will be sharing and demonstrating the role of female employees in contributing to the palm oil industry. So those are for. All right, moving forward, on next year, February 18, so we will have Dr. Liew, a senior lecturer from Nanotechnology and Catalyst Research Center, University of Malaya, to share about his experience and also the knowledge on catalytic upgrading of palm-based residue to valuable products. So he will be talking about the chemistry code of biomass for various types of conversion process to produce desirable byproducts from palm oil, palm-based residues. So this is a quick snapshot on the events. So as I mentioned earlier, November 8th, we have these webinars on the palm oil health and nutritional benefits of palm oil. And November 9th, we have this environmental sustainability in palm oil sectors. Then experience sharing session about women working in palm oil industry. And actually on January 17th, we have a webinar about Sharizan Muhammad Sariq, a senior lecturer from UNM. And lastly, on February, what I mentioned earlier, the catalytic upgrading of palm-based residue to valuable products by Dr. Lee. All right, so that's about the events. So actually, just on my previous slides, I mentioned about the awards and bursaries that we actually give out to the students who are interested in the palm oil, who are actually who are studying or interested in the palm oil industries. So first, about the Best Financial Design Awards. This is we award 2,000 in Malaysia per project team. For the research project bursary, maximum of 3,000 per individual projects. Travel bursary for conference, we have a maximum 1,000 per individual for travel. And we also have the article of honorarium, which is 200 ringgit per individual or team. So the article honorarium, their article will be showcased in our POPSIG newsletters. So actually, for your information, now we already closed the application for year 2021 for the above awards. And then we are actually, but then for the upcoming applications, it will be reopened in earlier 2022. So For the full details about the awards and bursaries that I mentioned earlier, you can refer to the link here. And these are IChemE.org PALM-awards. So the awards will include cash prizes and certificate of achievement, and also the publications and presentation on webinars. This will be for research bursary only. Right. So like I mentioned earlier, for more information, you can refer to the link. So yeah, so we POPSIG are very actively conducting activities to showcase the best practice about the latest update on the palm oil industry. If you all about what is happening within this realm of palm oil. So with that, we also need your feedback to regarding your feedback to make our activity better in the future. So here I have this QR code for the survey. So please enter your feedback in this Microsoft form. So the survey, I believe the organizer already shared it out to you also. So for information, the survey will close at 12 p.m. on 12th November, which is Friday. So you can also refer to the link here. So we really appreciate your feedback on our on this university roadshow. So we can then we can improve on the way ahead. So thank you very much for your. I would like to thank you all for your feedback. So last but not least, we would like to welcome you. Listed here, so you can also you can check out all the information about POPSIG in our official link here. You can also contact us through our official emails or linkings, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also most recently we have our Telegram. So we are visible at most of the major social medias. So feel free to contact us if you have any inquiries, and we are highly welcome you to join us in the near future. So once again, POPSIG gratefully acknowledge our sponsors, Monash University Malaysia, Desmet Ballestra, MPOC, and the Malaysia Auto Chemical Manufacturers Group. So you can contact us through our official email is at the left-hand corner here, and you can also scan the QR code to contact us. So with that, I finish my my presentation has shed some light to you about IChemE POPSIG, and hope to see you. I wish you all a good health and a great day ahead. Thank you. I'll pass back to you, Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Vincent. Next, we have Ms. Liew. Ms. Liew will talk about the role of chemical engineers in the palm oil industry. Once again, do note down points that you may find important, as prizes will be given for the winners of the quiz later. Ms. Liew, I pass the mic to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Before that, allow me to share my slide. Is it clear for everybody?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Henry, for your introduction, and a very good morning to all of you. Thank you for being here today, and also especially thanks to IChemE POPSIG and University Nottingham, Malaysia for organizing this roadshow this morning. My name is Liew. I'm from Desmet, Ballestra, Malaysia, and we are an engineering company for the oil and fat processes with our headquarters based in Belgium. I'm currently working as a process engineer who was once a chemical engineering student just like you. Back then, with a lot of question mark in my head, thinking that when I'm done with my degree, what can I do or where can I go from here? And it's with my pleasure this morning, after working for this industry for 13 years already, it's with great pleasure for me to share with you some of my experiences to give you a better idea of what it's like for a chemical engineer to work or even to contribute in the palm oil industry. So before I start, just to ensure a stable connection, I will switch off my video, and maybe during the Q&A session that I'll see you all again. Okay, I'll start my presentation today with an introduction of the palm oil processing technology. What are the main processes involved and what are the related products that consist of palm oil? And then we'll go through a little bit as well how the technical knowledge that you are learning today be integrated and applied in the industry. And last but not least, also to share with you what are the challenges lying ahead in the industry. Well, the intention here is not to scare you away, but also to let you understand what are the opportunities that lies ahead of you in the palm oil industry. Let's get into it. I hope all of you are feeling good so far. Okay. When we talk about palm oil, we talk about food. And when we talk about food, we talk about the population because that's the demand. So we need the food to feed the humans, to feed the world's population. And the current world population today, it's 7.9 billion, based on the most recent figure from United Nations. You can see from the graph on the left here, we're about 8 billion, and it's estimated to reach 9 billion by 2050. So, which means as the global population grows, the demand for oil and fat in a way for food, oil and fat, will continue to grow as well. So it's important to understand the future prospect of the industry itself. With the global population growing, however, the arable land per person is shrinking, which means the agricultural land available for the plantation to plant the oil crop, it's reducing in the contrary. There's two graphs here to show with you. On the right side, you can see the few common oil crops that are available in the world right now. And based on the number, oil palm, it's the most important one as it supplies up to 35% of the global vegetable oil and fat, and followed by soybean oil being the second common oil in the world, which is about 27.8%. Well, among all these common oil, on the left side, oil palm, it's a very highly productive crop, which is capable of yielding more oil with the same amount of land than the other vegetable in the world. So from the graph here, comparing with rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, and soybean oil, palm oil itself can produce 4 times more oil compared to the other oil with the same area of land, right? So that's why palm oil is by far the most efficient oil crop. Not only that, palm oil can yield more oil compared to other oil, but also it requires much energy, less fertilizer to produce the same quantity of oil compared to other oil crop. So I think it's not new to all of you that you might heard some negative images about palm oil, about the deforestation and all that, but with the numbers speaking for itself here, imagine palm oil is to replace by other types of oil. Can you imagine how much more land they require in order to meet the demand of the population today? And I think the next slide we'll have our speaker from POC to share with you more data on this subject. Moving on, looking at the map itself, Indonesia and Malaysia itself, these two countries are already responsible for producing about 86% of the world's palm oil. And palm oil requires a tropical climate, so you can pay attention to the green side where the palm oil are mostly the biggest plantation. The biggest producer in the world right now, it's Indonesia and followed by Malaysia, and some in Thailand, and also along the equatorial that we have Nigeria and Colombia as well, which is also the palm oil producer country in the world. And we have the biggest importer of the palm oil being India, China, or even Europe as the largest importer of palm oil. A little bit facts of palm oil in Malaysia. We are the second largest producer and exporter as well of the palm oil worldwide. And Malaysia alone, it's already accountable for about 10% of the world's oil and fats production. Almost up to 17.5% of our land mass is used for the palm oil plantation. It's not all yet, it's about 17.5%. And palm oil industry itself, it's one of the top 10 largest export earner from Malaysia in the last decade. That's actually an important industry that's contributing to the country's profit. Yeah, and with many areas involved in the industry, and more than 600,000 people are employed directly, including myself and many of us here today. And also, the first palm tree, it's planted in Malaysia back in 1917, which means the commercial oil palm planting is already more than 100 years in Malaysia. It's a quite long history already since the first palm oil tree it's planted in Malaysia. Right. Due to the COVID, I have not taken a flight myself for very long, but if you remember, I think this is how it looks like viewing from the plane, looking down, right? When you're approaching KLI, this is how it looks like, the palm oil plantation across Malaysia. And now we'd like to touch a little bit what are the palm oil processes involved to have that various palm oil product that you have that we're using today in our life from the palm fruits itself. Palm oil processing value chain, it's similar to other industry as well, where we have the upstream, we have the midstream, and the downstream as well. So first of all, we have the plantation and to process the fruit in the palm oil mill, and then he has to go through the midstream to extract the oil, to refine it, to prepare the ingredient, and then for the downstream manufacturer to produce specific product that suits the consumer requirement. That's what's commonly marketed in the supermarket or in the market today. Yeah. To go through a little bit detail, so it's a lot of processes involved, right? So the starting point definitely would be from the palm oil plantation itself. And I think that is a virtual site visit for you, right? So that will be very interesting to have a look on the palm oil plantation and what it's like in the palm oil mill. But everything will start from the plantation. And we have the worker and the labor here. They'll do the harvesting to collect the fresh fruit bunch, which is shown in the picture here. And that's how it looks like. And collecting this fresh fruit bunch, and then it was sent to the palm oil mill to go through a series of process in order to get a drop of our crude palm oil, right? To go through a little bit process here. So first of all, the fresh fruit bunch collected will be sent to the palm oil mill, right? First of all, it will go through a sterilization processes first to inactivate the enzyme that is present in the fruit, and also to prevent the buildup of the free fatty acid. What we want is the oil, and free fatty acid, it's what we usually wanted to remove in the refinery process later on. So during the process, we want to stop the formation of free fatty acid to preserve the quality of the crude palm oil, right? So there's a sterilization just to stop the enzyme that is responsible for that. And steam sterilization also helps to soften the fruit so that it will be easier to extract the oil out of the fruit later on. The sterilized fruit later on will go through this threshing process, which is, if you remember how it looks like, the fruits attached to the stalk, the bunch, right? So this is to separate the sterilized fruits from the bunch stalk. Yep. And then after these threshing processes, the fruits are then moved on to this digester, where they are reheated to loosen the pericarp. And then the digested fruit are then passed into a screw press for pressing, to press the oil, the liquid, out of the fruit. So after the pressing, there'll be a mixture of the extracted oil, the water that's used from the steam in the previous step, and also the fiber that comes from the fruit and nuts as well, right? So the mixture of all these will have to go through and the clarification processes. So from here, it will be discharged to this clarification, we call it clarifier. The oil will be separated from the mixture, yeah. And then to further recover the oil, to further separate the oil out from the contaminated, right? So it will go through a centrifugation here to recover as much oil as possible from the mixture. And with this, then you have your crude palm oil. Now, before the crude palm oil can be sent to storage or being transported to the refiner, it's also important the oil is being dried in a vacuum dryer, because we do not want any moisture in the oil that will affect the quality. So after the oil is dried, it will be cooled and sent to the storage tank, or then to be transported to the refiner and to the refiner for the further processes. If you remember how the palm oil fruits look like this, also the kernel, inside the kernel, there's a good amount of oil with different property characteristics as well. So the kernel, the nut itself, will also, you can see there's a separate stream here, right? The separated nut will go to this nut cracker. The mixture of the cracked nuts and the shell is then separated via the winnowing process and this winnowing system, and then followed by a wet separation. And then the kernel collected here also will be sent to the kernel crushing plant to further extract the oil out from this palm kernel. Yeah. Now, the crude palm oil that it's ready, that is collected, extracted from the fruit itself, contains a lot of other substances that we do not want. It's not perfectly fine for human consumption or further being produced in the downstream for different product yet. So it has to undergo a refinery and fractionation processes. So the crude palm oil will send to the oil refinery, right? To remove the gum or to remove some color pigments. So today, the cooking oil that you have today, the cooking oil that you're using is actually go through a series of refining and fractionation process. And also the oil itself, beside refining, there's also a modification process to alter the physical properties, right? We'll come to a little bit to explain a little bit more on this refinery and fractionation process, so that the oil itself, the quality and the physical property to suits the final application requirement. So to talk about a little bit of the refining process, it can be done either physically or chemically. So these are the two common methods applied in the refining process of crude palm oil. And the differences between physical and chemical refining would be based on the process technology used to remove the FFA. So let's go through the physical refining first. So in the physical refining, it will go through the main three steps, which is the degumming, bleaching, and deodorizing. So what's happening here is the FFA mainly is being removed during the deodorization. The oil is heated up under high temperature. Usually the palm oil will be heated up to 250 or 260 degrees, where the free fatty acid being more volatile than the oil itself, right? So under high temperature, the free fatty acid will vaporize and collected in a different stream. And the purified oil, the refined oil, will be collected as the refined oil. While chemical refining, it means that we are neutralizing the acid, not physically, but by using an alkaline solution, right? So the free fatty acid is neutralized. So when we have the acid being neutralized by the alkaline, then we have the salt and water form. So, and then the salt will go through a washing process to remove it, and then also to go through a bleaching and deodorization, so that we'll have the refined, bleach, and deodorized palm oil. Yep. So not only to remove the free fatty acid, but during this process, this refining process is also used to remove the gum that is present in the oil, and also the oxidized oil that's present in the oil, and some metal ion, or even some contaminant along the transportation, or even the color pigment. So all this will be removed, refined during the process. Hence, after this process, the refined palm oil is normally called the refined, bleach, and deodorized palm oil, so that it doesn't have a funny taste or smell for you while you're using the oil for cooking or for other application, right? The RBD PO itself, it's not enough yet. So, and then to expand, to even increase the application of palm oil. So there's also very common, the refined oil go through a modification process. So here we have the three main types of modification process that's applied in the industry. To alter the physical properties of the oil to suit the final application. And here first we have the hydrogenation. The hydrogenation is to reduce the degree of unsaturation of the acid group in the oil, which means the oil is a organic compound where we have the carbon and carbon chain with double bond. So what we're doing here is we introduce hydrogen, right, to reduce the double bond, right? So that the oil appears harder, to increase the physical property, the melting point of the oil. So this is hydrogenation, injecting the hydrogen to the process in the reactor. Okay, and then we also have the interesterification processes. Interesterification process is to modify the position of the acid group on the glycerol backbones of the oil. This we have to go through a little bit of chemistry of the oil, but generally is to switch the position of the oil, the fatty acid group that's attached to the glycerol backbone. And this can be done either by chemically or enzymatic. So it's a very interesting process to alter the physical properties of the oil. And the third type is one of the most commonly applied modification process, which is the fractionation process. That is to separate the high and low melting point fraction by selective crystallization of the fat. This can be done dry. Dry means without any additive or chemical or solution, right? While we have the other two, solvent, fractionation, and detergent, which means we are adding the solvent detergent to facilitate the fractionation, right? Well, being fractionation as the most commonly applied modification process. So here we'd like to go through with you so that how you related the modification process in your daily life. Because I think many times when you go to the supermarket or when you have some food packaging, you read the ingredient, you turn it around, you read on the ingredient. I think many product you see palm oil, but does it come to you that we have the chocolate in semi-solid structure, we have the cooking oil, which is fully liquid, and also we have the margarine, which is solid at room temperature, right? But all these are actually made from palm oil, but how is that so, right? That's the reason why through the fractionation process, we actually separate the high melting oil with the low melting point to give you the specific physical properties. So normally palm oil will go through a first fractionation to separate them into the solid fraction, we call it styrene, and the liquid fraction, we call olein, right? So, and the styrene usually used as a feedstock to make margarine, and from the olein, usually to make the cooking oil, or we call the frying oil. And if you're looking for even much more high quality cooking oil or even to make salad oil, because you do not want the salad to solidify easily at room temperature, right? Because that will make your salad looks pretty nasty with the lumps with the oil, right? So further that this olein can be further fractionated to make a much higher quality, we call salad oil, or as a feedstock for margarine as well, which is we call this palmate fraction, and which is a semi-solid where the melting point is close to around 30 to 40 degrees, right? And from here, it can be further fractionated to make hard palmate fraction and mid-olein. The interesting part would be this hard palmate fraction because it, due to the properties that is very close to the physical properties of the cocoa butter as well. And that's the reason why palm oil very often is a very good and one of the most common feedstock to make cocoa butter equivalent or substitute. So that's the reason why in some of your chocolate product, when you turn it around, beside cocoa butter, you can see palm oil ingredient in the chocolate as well. Yep. This is how it looks like. On the left, you have the yellowish orange color. That is the crude palm oil extracted from the fruit, from the palm oil meal. And after the refining process, you have the RBD palm oil, which looks like this. The fact that it's a bit whitish because of the melting point at room temperature, it appears like this. So, and then after fractionation, you can see that the liquid fraction collected is look brilliantly clear at room temperature, fully liquid form. And we have the styrene, which is the high melting one that already is a solid form at room temperature. So this is to give you a better idea how's the fractionation, the product after the fractionation looks like, yeah. Well, we're talking a lot about the edible oil application, so about food and how the palm oil can be used for. But the oleochemicals is also one of the very important part in the palm oil processing. Yeah, oleochemical, what does it mean? It's basically converting the vegetable oil into other green and sustainable product, right? So palm-based oleochemical produces main ingredients such as fatty acid, fatty alcohol, glycerin ester, and where all of these is actually the important ingredient to make cosmetic, skin care, or even detergent that we very much needed in our daily life. So this is here's a diagram to give you a better idea. From the natural oil, the fraction, it goes through the processes, splitting and all that, distillation process to have a fatty acid, fatty amine and all that. And this is also where biodiesel it's produced in this part of the oleochemical. Yeah. So this is where biodiesel is made from palm oil as well. And further, we have the other application like soap and antioxidant, even surfactant that we need a lot for other application to make other product. So besides in the palm oil industry, it's important to understand that it's not just food that we are talking about. Palm oil is a very important vegetable oil in the oleochemical industry as well. Right. So having said that, so this is probably all the product that we make out of palm oil product through the process that we just explained earlier, right? So it's really not a surprise to say that the moment when you walk into the supermarket, I have a very sensitive mouth, sorry about that. So it's really not common. It's not surprise to say that when you walk into the supermarket, almost more than half of the product actually consists of palm oil. So this is how versatile and how useful, right, and how efficient palm oil is actually playing a big role in our daily life. Now that's more on the palm oil processing industry. And now we come to a little bit how the technical knowledge that we're learning today be integrated and applied in the industry, right? So what does a chemical engineer do in the industry? The role of a chemical engineer basically is to improve the quality of life, right? So we make soap that is the life, so we have a better soap to clean the thing, right? We have a better quality food through the processes, we retain the nutrition. So what we do here is try to improve the quality of life. But do we work alone? We do not. So what we do is actually we get the idea, the knowledge, right? We work with scientists who spend their time and finding new technology through the research and development. And what we do is we do collaborative, we do discussion, we do idea sharing, and we help to industrialize the idea that is proven in the research and development into the industrial plant, so that it's being able to produce, even to make it reachable, and even if it's for a product, then it's producible for the market, for the people to use it, right? So it's important that we always work with others to get the idea and knowledge. And then once you gain more experiences and all that, and it's also important to look into the sustainable and safety aspect of the process itself. So never think that chemical engineering maybe it just work in the production line. Work in the production line because we design plant, right? We design a plant for manufacturing. So it's not just that. The aspect of a chemical engineer is actually so much more wider than that, and we are actually working with people from a different discipline for all kind of background to actually achieve a goal that is to improve the quality of life for the human being. Right? To break down a little bit, and there's a reason for all the subject that is included in your syllabus, because every single of them is very important, right? To go to a little bit, so the process technology is important so that we know what are the technologies that we can, for the processes required to process the oil. For example, we have the filtration. For example, like the fractionation, we have the crystallization process. So it's important to know what are the technologies that we can apply into the process. And sometimes we have to do simulation for some calculation, for some estimation. So the mathematical modeling is also important. And the heat transfer and the heating for optimizing the utilities and all that, the process integration, the heat transfer is also important, right? And then even some of the reaction involve chemistry, like hydrolysis and esterification. So all this is how we apply what we've learned in the university, in the school, right, to put into industry, to apply it in the industry. The technical aspect aside, the safety, the economic evaluation, and the sustainability aspect and the environmental is also very important. So actually all this subject, all this information, all this knowledge that we learn here is very important and widely applied in every aspect in the chemical industry itself, in particularly palm oil industry. It's as important for the industry, oil and gas, but it's also as equally important in the palm oil processing industry also. Yeah. So now that you're trying to think, okay, with all this I learned, where can I go and what can I do? So you can see that we have the technical aspect, we have the safety aspect, we have the different aspect and different area here, right? So it's really no surprise that for you, a chemical engineer, right, based on your interest or maybe based on your strength, right, or based on your personal character, that being a chemical engineer itself, you can find yourself in all these areas in the industry. So like myself, I'm in the design of a process plant and equipment. So I do process plant design, I design the layout, and then we do commissioning. But for example, if you today, you're a chemical engineer student, but you are more sensitive or you like calculation that's related to dollar and cent, right, to the economy, you could be in the technical or economic evaluation or even in the sales and marketing, right? Maybe you have a very good people skill and you like managing, and there, being a chemical engineer yourself, you can be involved yourself in the project management or even administration as well. Or you're an engineer, but you love working in the lab. You love discovering new things. You love doing research and development. And there you are. There's always a place for you based on your interest and your strength, right? I think this is one of the very important message that we would like to share with you all chemical engineering students. I'm not sure that how your position is when it comes to palm oil industry to you. Definitely your opportunity is not just work in the palm oil mill itself, and no doubt that can be interesting, but you could be doing process design. If your interest is dealing with the machine, you can be in the plant, taking care of your production, optimizing the process, right? And also, if you're interested in the control, you like logic and all that, you can be in the instrumentation and process control, because today most of the processing plant is fully automatic, and there is a programming, there is a automatic control involved here. So based on your interest, right, you always can find your spot in the palm oil industry. There's so much opportunities that offers to you right here. And when you gain more experience, you can also do teaching, managing, or even training to help the new engineer to pick up the knowledge, right? And then to contribute in the industry, right? So it's just like any other industry. There's so much more opportunities and area that you can find yourself in the palm oil industry. But you might think that, oh, it's already more than 100 years that the first palm tree is planted in Malaysia. And then for all the processes that we've been sharing just now, seems to be so mature in the industry already. What else can you do? Even though, I just share with you that there's many areas that you can be in, right? But maybe some of you will still think, well, does it really sound that promising? And what else can you do in the industry? Well, actually, yes. Even though the first refinery plant, the technology could be, more than 30, 40 years ago, but today, we are still looking into the simple refining itself, because, right, we never stop. Today, even though the technology is quite mature to produce the crude palm oil, for example, for the refining process to produce the refine, but we are continuing to improve the production so that we can produce the same oil with less cost, to reduce the production cost, because that's important to improve the plant efficiency, and also perhaps to use less steam, to use less to have less consumption that's pertaining to the sustainability issue, or you reduce the waste while you produce the same amount of oil, the same quality of oil. And also today, we also continuously look into the processing unit operation, that we only remove what we wanted to remove, but we retain the quality, so it's better for the human consumption. So having said that, many of the technology like hydrogenation or maybe fractionation that I share with you seems to be a mature technology, but the oil processor and technology provider are continuously looking for new solutions to solve the current problem, or even to make it much more sustainable and more efficient processes for the refiner, right? And not only that, there's also idea like to replace the process but using enzyme, right, to introduce a different catalyst or different way of producing the oil. So that's where the importance of research and development plays the role in the industry. So we are continuously improving and try to make the whole process in the industry to be better and better. Well, to give you an example, I would like to share with you a process flow sheet, right? So this is, if you remember the refining process that we have to go through, the degumming, bleaching, and deodorizing. So this is a typical flow sheet for the deodorizing process. All right. Okay, maybe you'll be interested just to walk you through a little bit. So we have the oil from the bleaching, right, to go through a buffer tank here, and then it will go through the deodorizer here. So if you remember, what we're doing here is to remove the free fatty acid from the oil itself. So we heat up the oil in this deodorizer, and you can see that you can see a little bit of the internal structure of the deodorizer itself. So deodorizer today surely looks different than the deodorizer back in the days, because we have improved. So you can see that we have all the heating coil here. We improved the surface area, right, in order to reduce the fuel consumption, right, because we need the steam to do the heating. So we look into the details, right, as a process engineer, and also where we can do process integration. For example, that we have high temperature here, and then we go through a heat exchanger for heat integration to recover the heat and all that. So these are all the areas, the aspect that we apply our technology to improve the process itself. And today we also have the process contaminant, where we try to refine the oil without producing any harmful material to the human body. So these are the continuous challenges that we have as a process engineer in the industry, the ongoing improvement. One of the important and going on is the industry IR Revolution 4.0, right? What does it mean to you, and what are the things that, what's the idea to share with you? IR 4.0 means it's a current trend of automation and data exchange, which means everything is accessible. You have an automatic system to capture your data, so it can be done automatically. And also it's digitally connected, so it's very accessible. And then from the information collected, that you have the algorithm to help you to make some decision already to reduce human error or to improve the efficiency, right? So these are the new thing that's actually ongoing in the industry right now. So it's also an interesting area for students like you, right? To think about it, to how you can play a role and improve this part to contribute in this part, okay? So for example, to give an idea that because of the COVID, we used to travel a lot to do the plant startup for our customer in different region of the world. But because due to the travel restriction, that I get to learn, right, to actually control the plant from my house, from my handphone even, because with the internet, I can connect to their control system, the SCADA, so I can pay attention and look into the temperature, operating profile, and then to discuss, to give guidance to start up the entire processing plant. So this is a very interesting involvement, but it can only be done with the new technology, with the industry, with the internet network that we have today. So which means the industry is moving to be more high-tech and high-tech as well. So these are also the area that also part of the future in the industry for all of us. Now, the technical knowledge alone will not be sufficient for any one of us in order to be a very successful engineer. We can have all the knowledge, we can have all the experiences that we have within ourselves, but it means nothing if we are not able to communicate it, to share it, to work with others, right? Because we chemical engineers do not work alone. So remember that aside of the technical knowledge alone, the soft skill, the transferable skill is also very important to make us a very successful engineer. And with that, what does the palm oil industry expect from you all, a chemical engineering student, or even from myself as a chemical myself, is to apply the knowledge and understand to solve the practical situation, right? And then throughout the process, able to work with others, to communicate, to lead a team, or to follow a lead, or to work with others, and always to commit high standard professional and ethical conduct. Because when it comes to safety, is also very important while dealing with the processes. So always commit to standard, follow the code, and continue to grow for your own professional development or related to professional knowledge and competency. Always continue to improve yourself, right? And how we can do that? I think thanks to IChemE POPSIG here, and there's actually a very good platform for you to do that, at least for me. Yeah, so that's why I'm sharing with you today. So you can always connect to have a network so that you always have people with different background to share ideas with you, and that's where we learn as well, to learn from the expert from a different industry. And when we face some problem in the process, it's always a good idea to go back to basic. There's rules that never change. So go back to the fundamental knowledge and solution, or to solve the complicated equation with the basic formula. So it's always good to go back to the basic and uphold professionalism. Always strive for excellence and be trustworthy and ethical. And with POPSIG, there's a very good platform for you all to do that. And today we have this university roadshow that it's more catered, tailor-made for you as a student. I think from Vincent's presentation earlier, we also have a lot of webinar that is given from all the experts from the industry to share their idea, to share their new finding. So that is for us to always gain the new updated news of technology in the industry, and to share whatever we have in the industry as well among each other. Yeah, and with that, I hope with the presentation, it does give you a better idea and more information about the palm oil industry itself for a chemical engineer. And if you do have any question, I think feel free to drop it to me. I will try my best to answer them. With this, I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Liew. We do have a few questions, but hang on, let me share the questions.
All right.
All right. We only have 2 minutes for the Q&A, so I believe this question has been answered just now in your presentation about IR 4.0. So let's move on with this question. Chemical engineering students don't really learn much about legal stuff, economic evaluation in uni. Would we be trained on this as we join the company?
Yes, Depends on the exact role that you join in the company, the exact position, right? For the relevant position, of course, the relevant information and the training will be given. So it's part of the process when you first join a company to pick up the new knowledges. But what you learn in the industry is very important to lay you the foundation, right? And then when you step into the actual employment world, and that will be the practical, the actual things add on top of that, and then for you to contribute, for you to expand from there. So no worries. I believe no matter what position you join in whichever company, definitely there'll be training provided. And also, I think that's why internship is important, right? To give you some idea already to how it's like to minimize the gap between the academic and the real working world. Yeah. So no worry on that.
All right. So we do not have time for more questions, unfortunately. For the other questions, you may put it in the feedback form and it will be answered after the event. You may then view your answer in a link that is written already in the feedback form. But Ms. Liew, thank you very much for sharing about like processing plants in the palm oil industry and how it works. Thank you for that. Next, we will have a 5 minutes break. Thank you, Ms. Liew. And now we will have a 5 minutes break. You may go get your coffee or maybe your breakfast, and we will be back at 10:15. Thank you.
POPSIG is among many special interest groups within the Institution of Chemical Engineers. And POPSIG is led by a group of passionate volunteers consisting of members from industry, academia, as well as student chapters across many universities. And our goal here as a special interest group is essentially to provide a forum for exchanging ideas, for sharing experiences and best practices, as well as encouraging innovation in the palm oil industry. Right? And to achieve this, we conduct several activities each year. These activities include things like technical seminars, workshops, evening webinars, and talks as well. We also have our quarterly newsletter, and we also organize university roadshows as well as site tours and site visits. We hope that our work that we do in POPSIG will impact the efforts in improving sustainability as well as circular economy in the palm oil industry.
There are many people asking, is palm oil sustainable? Well, this topic is very much in debate. I would say most of the stakeholders are putting in their best effort to be sustainable and to meet the challenges of net zero carbon emission. Palm oil is very much known for its highest oil yield per hectare than other oil crops. Its early sustainable journey is very much surrounding with the Roundtable Sustainable Palm Oil RSPO back in 2004. With the endless efforts of research and development, the palm oil yield continues to increase, thus lowering its carbon footprint. Last but not least, palm oil processing is no doubt has achieved a certain level of sustainability. However, such work should continue to achieve its next level for the betterment of our future generation. Thank you.
Join us together. Let's make a difference.
Well, welcome back everyone. I hope you have had a good break, and I also hope that you have enjoyed the video just now. Next on the agenda, we have Dr. Noraisyah Zulkawi. Dr. Noraisyah will tell you about the product itself, which is palm oil. Dr. Noraisyah, I pass the mic to you. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Can you all see my screen?
We cannot see yet.
Okay, hold on. All right. Can you all see my screen now?
Yes, we can see. Thank you.
Right. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Aisha. My full name will be Noraisyah Zulkawi, but you can call me Aisha. I am the manager in the Food Nutrition Department in the Science, Environment and Sustainability Division in MPOC. So basically today, I will present on behalf on MPOC about the title, What Do You Know About Palm Oil? So basically, I know that you are mostly chemical engineers, and I will be presenting more on the food and nutrition as well as the health. But I think it is important for you as chemical engineers to also know about the health and nutrition about these palm oil, because that could help you to understand more on producing in terms of the processing and production to ensure that the products that you produce is safe and also is also quality, right? Some maybe a little bit background of myself. I am a biotechnology professional, and I did my MBA in UPM. So basically, my area will be covering on this how to say the production, R&D, as well as project management. So I think the background of my staff would not be so much related to chemical engineers, but in terms of the health and nutrition, that would be my strengths and in this area. And today I have some of the outlines of my presentation, which covers on in the area of this palm oil as in global context. The second part will be touching on the palm oil nutritional benefits, the palm oil application, challenges and efforts. I'm sorry, there's someone controlling my panel, isn't it? Okay.
It's gone now. Yes.
All right. Okay. So is it all good now?
Yes. Thank you.
Right. Okay. So let's look at the content of my presentation today. Okay, a little bit background on this palm oil. It's actually started more than 100 years ago. I probably want to turn off my my video so that it will be the connection will be much easier. In 1875, the oil palm was introduced to Peninsular Malaysia, then Malaya, as an ornamental plant by the British. So basically, in 1917, I would say like more than 100 years ago, a Frenchman called Henry Fauconnier established the first commercial oil palm plantation at Tenamaram Estate in Batang Berjuntai, Selangor. So from there, basically we have been growing in terms of our palm oil industry in Malaysia, and in terms of the global context, palm oil accounts for about 30% of the global oil fats and supply. So as you can see here, the palm oil accounts about 30%, and the rest of it is less than 30%. So it makes that palm oil is the most popular vegetable oil globally. So on top of that, palm oil is the most productive vegetable oil in terms of yield per hectare, which about occupying 7% of the total global vegetable oil seed planted area. And because I think this palm oil is required just 0.4% of the total agricultural area in the world, and knowing that it is most productive vegetable, it's something very good for palm oil. So in terms of major application, that will be so evident by the vast applications in the area of foods, oleochemicals, biofuels, as well as the renewable energy resources, such as biomass. Okay. So before we go further into the technical details about the palm oil, let's look at the oil palm industrial governance. Led by the Ministry of Plantation Industry and Commodities, there are 3 agencies and councils that are responsible in oil palm industry. So the first one is NPOB, Malaysia Palm Oil Board, is an agency that serves the country oil palm industry. Its main role is to develop national objective, policy and priorities that improve the Malaysian oil palm industry, as well as to conduct industry-related R&D, research and development, ensuring viability of the oil palm industry in Malaysia. Okay. The second one is the MPOC, which is a council that was established in 1990, and its mission is to promote the market expansion of Malaysian palm oil and its products by enhancing the image of palm oil and creating better acceptance of palm oil through awareness of various technological and economic advantages and environmental sustainability. The next one is MPOCC, Malaysian Palm Oil Certification Council. Okay, this organization is responsible for the development and operations of the Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil MSPO certification scheme in Peninsular Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak. So just a heads up about what is MSPO is all about. It's a national scheme for oil palm plantations, independent and organized smallholders, and palm oil processing facilities in Malaysia. So it's to be certified against the requirements of the MSPO standards. I will go further about the MSPO later in my slides today. Right. So in terms of the Malaysian palm oil industry, from a humble beginning in 1960, as I mentioned in the history and background just now, the Malaysian oil palm industry has transformed to become one of the key contributors to the Malaysia's gross domestic product and foreign exchange earning. It's a major pillar of the Malaysian economy and contributes towards economic prosperity and development through its substantial export earning, where we earn capital incomes and employment opportunities, especially for the graduates. Okay, let's look at the technical details about the oil palm fruit now. So basically the oil palm fruit comprises of the kernel, which is the seed of the oil palm fruit, and the mesocarp, which is the flesh of the fruits. So from a single oil palm fruit, there are 2 types of oil that can be produced, namely palm kernel oil and also crude palm oil. Palm oil is produced from the mesocarp, and oil palm fruit, mesocarp, and the oil palm fruit, while palm kernel is from the kernel itself. So both palm kernel oil and this palm oil are high in saturated fatty acid. As you can see from the graph here, the yellow color is more, so it shows that it has high saturated fatty acids. Palm oil is high in palmitic acid, and palm kernel oil is high in lauric acid. Right. So what's interesting about palm oil is that it has a balanced composition of saturated fatty acids and unsaturated fatty acids. So it has a composition of 50% fatty acids, 40% of monounsaturated fatty acids, as well as the 10% of polyunsaturated fatty acid, which we call PUFA. Okay, as you can see from the graph here, there are numbers of vegetable oils listed, and palm oil is situated in the middle, which shows that it has a very stable and balanced nutritional fatty acid content. And as you can see on the right side, is more vegetable that contains high PUFA, polyunsaturated fatty acids. So those vegetable oils that has high PUFA are easily oxidized and are not recommended for deep frying. So PUFA are partially hydrogenated to make them more solid because they are actually in liquid in room temperature. So to make it more solid, we go through the partial hydrogenated process to make them more solidified or spreadable, but this will generate the fatty acid, we generate the trans fatty acid, which is harmful to the health. So unhealthy trans fat promotes CVD, cardiovascular diseases such as cancer, diabetes, obesity, and so on. And palm oil, on the other hand, because it has a balanced fatty acid content, is naturally semi-solid and does not require hydrogenation process in general. Okay, just now Ms. Liew has actually shown to you some of the fractionation process, right? So I will go through a bit similar explanation as well, but this one I also included the crude palm kernel oil application as well, and fractionation application as well. So basically, from this crude palm oil, when we did the fractionation, it will produce palm stearine and palm olein, whereby palm olein is a liquid fractionation of palm oil. It is high in monounsaturated oleic acid. It is a terrific frying oil due to its high smoke point and stability. It is known to be nutritionally comparable to olive oil in several human dietary trials. On the other hand, palm stearine is a solid fraction of palm oil, often used in combination with other oils. It is great non-hydrogenated vegetarian option for spreads and confection when it's blended in with nut buffers to prevent separation of the fats. So palm oil is actually naturally semi-solid and is easily fractionated, separated at different temperatures and filtration process. And does not go through partial hydrogenation, not necessary. Okay, so the fractions have different solid fat content, which give different properties for various food applications. When you look at the chart here, you can actually see the wide applications of palm oil, and this proves how palm oil is incredibly versatile and extremely useful. And if you can see here, the oleochemicals is also one of the applications coming from the crude palm kernel oil. Now, we want to talk about the palm oil healthy minor constituents. So basically, palm oil has a lot of phytonutrients. It has high concentrations of vitamin E, such as the tocols, the tocotrienols and tocopherols, which is about 600 to 1000 ppm concentration, as well as the carotenoids. So if you see from this table here, there are other vegetable oils that also contain tocopherols and tocotrienol content, but palm oil is one of the richest of tocotrienols, and this is extracted in a concentrated form, which are formulated into dietary supplements. Okay, now palm oil is the natural source or the main sources of vitamin E. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin which is divided into two separate groups, which is tocopherols and also tocotrienols, as like I mentioned just now. So basically, the difference between tocopherols and tocotrienols is that it's due to the presence of 3 double bonds, which is positioned at 30, 70, and 110 in the side chains. So there are 8 different chemicals forms of vitamin E, 4 tocopheroisomers and 4 tocotrienol isomers. So each of these isomers has varying levels of biological activities. So if we have deficiencies in this vitamin E, there could be some impairment in terms of the health, which include anemia, impairment of immune response, retinopathy in terms of your eyes, and neuromuscular and also neurological problems. Okay, many studies has reported that vitamin E tocotrienols have shown multiple health benefits. As I mentioned just now, vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that can help in the prevention of stroke, cardiovascular diseases, cancer, diabetes, and obesity. So now, just now I mentioned that there are 2 types of oil, right? The crude palm oil and also the crude palm kernel oil. Actually, there is another oil that is produced from the oil palm fruit, which is known as red palm oil. So red palm oil is actually undergoes a special refining method or technology that retains its provitamin A carotenoids, which contain the red pigment that give its color. So what is provitamin A carotenoids? So it's actually a vitamin A precursor. So when we consume or when we ingest these provitamin A carotenoids, it will be converted into vitamin A in our body. So red palm oil is suitable to be used for salad dressing and stir-fry medium, apart from their use as a natural colorant in bakery products, because it has a red color, so it will give a very nice color in the bakery and maybe cookies or biscuits. So red palm oil is actually a very high antioxidant. So in comparison to other fruits and vegetables, red palm oil has higher retinol equivalents that 50 times more than tomatoes, 44 times more than leafy vegetables, 15 times more than carrots, 1,000 more than bananas, as well as the 3,750 more than the orange juices. Okay, it's the only commercially available keratin-rich vegetable oil in the world. Okay, no one else has. It's a rich natural source of alpha and beta carotene, and these are the potent antioxidant which are useful to strengthen of the body immune system, help both heart health as well as reduce the risk of cancer. Okay, so as I mentioned just now, palm oil has a balanced fatty acid composition, low in linolenic acid, making it the most stable for frying oil. It does not oxidize easily because it has a balanced unsaturated and saturated fatty acids. So in the food industry, palm oil is considered as the best frying oil because it is stable at high cooking temperatures, high oxidative stability, and resistant to oxidation. So PUFA-rich oils, on the other hand, which you can remember from the graph just now on the right side, are not stable and easily oxidized, in which upon frying it can produce harmful byproducts. So palm oil has a balanced fatty acid composition. It has moderate amount of linoleic acid and a small amount of linolenic acid, the two PUFAs that may be polymerized easily, and high content of vitamin E, which is natural antioxidants. So in addition, palm oil also produces less volatile compounds, in which it will avoid sticky residues to form on kitchen walls and cooking utensils. So compared to the other vegetable oil, the usage of palm oil as a frying medium resulting in less oil absorption, and it will give a good and consistent texture on the fried product. Okay, now, so we considered Malaysian palm oil is the healthy oil because, as I mentioned just now, it's naturally semi-solid, does not require partial hydrogenation, it is free of trans fat, free of cholesterol, it is non-GMO, it in terms of absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, whereby, as you know, vitamins A, D, E, and K is actually fat-soluble vitamins and help in the absorptions in the body. Palm oil also has vitamin E tocotrienols. It is one of the nature's richest sources of vitamin E tocotrienols, a more potent antioxidant than vitamin E tocopherols. It is nutritionally balanced, has equal ratio of unsaturated and saturated fats. So now we have gone through so many nutritional attributes of palm oil, and we know that it is a long record of safe use. It has been a safe and nutritious edible oil for humans for thousands of years. It has been consumed worldwide as cooking oil. It has been excellent dietary energy source, free of cholesterol and trans unsaturated fatty acid, rich in carotenoids, especially the red palm oil, inhibits cancer growth in terms of cardiovascular diseases. It helps to prevent and reduce the risk and the potential of having such a condition. It also rich in calories, but it's not so much in terms of like follow the dietary recommended, so it doesn't give you any harmful effect, and rich in vitamin E, such as the tocotrienols. So actually, palm oil has much to offer. It is non-GMO, it is halal, it contains vitamin E, nutritional balance. It has longer shelf life because it has it's not oxidized easily. It's stable at high temperature, resistant to oxidation, resistant to spoilage, produce less volatile compounds, make it less sticky during cooking, less oil absorption in food, balanced fatty acid content, trans fat-free, and retains flavor of the food. So we can call it a versatile Malaysian palm oil. It's multiple products, able to produce multiple products derived from one oil. For example, from the crude palm oil, we can produce palm oil to be used as a cooking oil. We can also use it as a application in other food like confectionery fats, as well as palm stearin for the margarine, and natural fat-free for the food ingredient, and super oil. Okay, in terms of the major food applications, of course, we know that palm oil is major use in the vegetable cooking oil. We use it almost daily in cooking. And other than that, it can be blended with other oils to make margarine or shortening. And as for the normally for the Indians, we can actually develop a vanaspati. It is a solid frying medium used as vegetarian substitute for butterfat. Sometimes people call it vegetable ghee. Okay, so other oils, like other vegetable oils, like I mentioned just now on the right side, may need to be hydrogenated further to make vanaspati, but not palm oil. It can also be used as cocoa butter substitute. Palm oil and palm kernel oil can be modified to extend their range of applications. There can be a cocoa butter substitute, make it more good glossiness to the food, to the chocolate, make it more nice looking, excellent mouthfeel profile, resistant against fat bloom in chocolate. Okay, the next one will be a substitute for the dairy fat, whereby palm-based fat used to replace dairy fat in ice cream formulation especially, so complement and enhance the functions of dairy fat in terms of flavor, the texture, and the mouthfeel. So in addition to this, palm oil able to produce, to assist the producers in reducing the raw material costs while providing the nutritional benefits. Right, so other food uses of palm oil where we can find these palm oil is basically as a special animal fat replacer. It contributes fewer or no calories to formulated foods, cholesterol-free, without altering flavor, mouthfeel, and other organoleptic properties. And also better senses, including taste, sight, smells, such as sausage or burger, patties, pepperoni, and nuggets. Second one is the santan sawit. It's an alternative to coconut milk. Normally we use for cendol that we normally eat during the afternoon. It can be stored in airtight container at less than 5 degrees C. Okay, the third one is emulsifier and stabilizer, where palm-based emulsifiers help to bind water and oil together to create an emulsion. So normally we will use it in the mayo, in terms of in the homogenized milk, to stabilize all dispersion, to impart the smooth texture, especially in peanut butter. So there can be separation problems like layer of soy peanut at the bottom due to settling. Right, so palm oil is also used in infant formula, where it is used in fat blends to match the fatty acid profile of human milk. The next one is cheese analog to provide similar solid fat profile as milk fat. So the texture and taste is similar to dairy cheese, but palm blends, it is cholesterol free, cheaper, and suitable for lactose intolerant people, and is vegan friendly. And last but not least is in coffee creamers, substitutes for dairy cream milk, as suitable for the lactose intolerant people as well. Lower production cost, longer shelf life, and easy storage and handling. So basically, you can actually see palm oil as in the whole day in your life. Starting from the morning, you eat cereals, bread, bun, cheese, and you also eat in the afternoon maybe the fried food, as well as in the afternoon or during leisure you eat ice cream. But it can also be found in your skincare, in your body care, in your cosmetic, and in household detergent. So basically, you use it, palm oil, in your daily life. So now we want to talk about the challenges, or maybe some of the challenges and efforts that has been around palm oil for quite some time. And we want to talk about, in terms of the health perception, will be on the saturated fat and cardiovascular diseases, as well as in contaminants 3 MCPD and GE. And we also have challenges in terms of the sustainability perception among people who probably has anti-palm oil sensitivity sense on the area of deforestation and wildlife conservation. So in terms of the palm oil and cardiovascular health, there is actually more than 180 nutritional human studies evaluating palm oil conducted by the leading research institutes around the world, especially America, Europe, and Australia. So there's no doubt that palm oil is actually, when incorporated into the daily human diet, it does, and consumed at the WHO recommended levels, it does not increase the total blood cholesterol or the bad LDL cholesterol levels. In fact, palm oil and olive oil have similar effects on blood cholesterol profile. So as you can see here, the amount is almost similar to olive oil, and it helps in terms of the heart health. So as I mentioned in earlier slides, palm oil contains a balanced fatty acid composition. It has a 50% saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. So because of this balanced composition, it actually has natural effects on total cholesterol level as comparable to other polyunsaturated rich oil as well, such as canola oil, rapeseed oil, as well as olive oil. So basically, as you can see, the graph here, it's almost comparable. It's almost the same. So that's why when people like relating it, palm oil, to the heart health condition, giving you cholesterol, that's actually not true, because studies have shown it's contradict with what people have been in mind, and then we need to shift the negative perception of people to show that our palm oil, our Malaysian palm oil, is actually good as well. So that's something that we should, to create awareness among the people and public as well. So now we move to the contaminants during the processing of palm oil. Okay, so basically the processed contaminant is something that we doesn't want, is an unwanted substances that develop during the palm oil processing. 3-MCPDE is basically a 3-monochloropropanone 1,2-diol ester, and GE is the glycidyl fatty acid esters. So these two contaminants form during the processing of palm oil. So for this 3-MCPDE, it is formed from acid cholesterol in the presence of chloride as the precursor. So particularly during high temperature of refining of palm oils, it is produced and catalyzed by acid degumming, acid activated bleaching clay, and high deodorization temperature of more than 230 degrees C. And as for the GE, it's a processing-induced contaminants, which is primarily found in refined fats and oils and food-containing fats and oil. So GE are the process contaminants generated during the deodorization step of edible oil refining. Formation of GE is extensive between the temperature of 260 and 270 degrees C. Okay, so these are the two contaminants that normally associated with palm oil. But of course, we know that the process of 3-MCPD and GE occurrence has actually now been understood. It has been the refiners, millers, and the industry has been very clearly understand about the situation of these contaminants. And there are a lot of mitigations and effort has been done, and crucial oil refining step has also been identified. So validated analytical approaches for process controls are also available and frequently used in the refining facility and in the milling facility as well. So basically, various mitigating measures are required to reach the mandatory low levels in refined edible oils, especially in the 3-MCPD and GE. For vegetable oils, factors that contribute to the formation of 3-MCPD and GE are actually part of is the climate, the soil and growth conditions of source plants or trees, their genotype and harvesting techniques. So these factors are all affect the level of precursors of 3-MCPD and GE. So now, as you can see here, there's a lot of efforts has been done to reduce the contaminants, especially in the CPO washing. The palm oil industry in Malaysia is dedicated to food safety and quality standards. The sector is governed by worldwide quality and safety standards. The Malaysian palm oil sector has also made a strong commitment to lowering the level as much as possible for the 3-MCPD and GE. Technological solutions towards reducing the formations of contaminants in refined palm oil and its derivative has already been initiated and still ongoing. The industry ensures that Malaysian palm oil products contain minimum amount of these contaminants to comply with international standards. So the European Food Safety Association, EFSA and JECFA, have actually highlighted concerns about the potential health effects of these contaminants, but the toxicity has not been well investigated so far. A number of researchers have always identified toxicological data gaps and called for more investigation. So as a result, further research is needed to determine the origins and the effects of these contaminants on human health when eaten at average levels over a lifetime. So the European Food Safety Authority, EFSA, proposed to limit the presence of 3-MCPD by 2.5 ppm and GE by 1 ppm in palm oil from year 2021 onwards. So to set the industry standards and based on the European standard as well, the Malaysian Palm Oil Board, MPOB, has set out the regulations for the country producers such as millers and refiners, whereby as of the 1st January this year, the maximum content of GE in the processed palm kernel oil and palm oil is to be 1 ppm. And then for the 3-MCPDE, the maximum content in the processed palm kernel oil is 1.25 ppm. And in processed palm oil is 2.5 ppm. And starting 1st January next year, the maximum content of 3-MCPD will be decreased from 2.5 to 1.25 ppm for integrated refineries, exporters and importers. However, for independent refineries, the effective date will be 1st January 2023. So because of the time still there, then the refiners and millers have still got time to still improve and optimize the process and taking the possible mitigation and efforts to reduce the MCPDE and GE as much as possible according to the standards. Okay, now let's look at the sustainable challenges, okay, in the oil palm. The oil palm is actually a superior crop. It's actually giving high productivity results by using only minimum use of land to produce equivalent tonnage of vegetable oils. So this is shown as the data calculated by our world from the UN Food and Agriculture FAO in 2018. It shows that palm oil is using the least the least amount of land to produce the same 1 ton of vegetable oils from the other vegetable. Compared to the other vegetable oils, palm oil just needs small amount of land. So it's about 9 times if you compare sesame seed oil with palm oil. So the least land area required for the per ton of oil. So it shows that palm oil is actually not actually affect the deforestation issues that people are always talking about. So similar to the data just now, there's a IUCN report here on the palm oil biodiversity 2018. It shows that the land required to produce 1 ton of the oil is just require 0.26 hectare, compared to the rest require more than that. And all palm producers 35% of all vegetable oils on less than 10% of the land allocated to oil crops.
Miss Noraisyah.
Yeah.
We have 5 minutes left. Would you like to?
Oh, okay. Okay, so no quick fixes to palm oil. So basically, banning palm oil could go wrong. And the next effort that has been doing on the palm oil industry will be the sustainability certification, whereby this will be conducted by MPOCC. Up to date, in August 2021, 88% land area has been MSPO certified, and 97% millers has been certified MSPO as well. So there has been a lot of initiative have been done in the area of sustainability and also the environment, whereby there's been a few initiatives under the MPOC, such as MPOGCF, as well as conservation efforts in terms of the wildlife, and as well as the plantation. And these are the ongoing and current projects. I will not go through it at that time. So, well, basically, palm oil is one of the important contributors to the socio-economic development. So, oil palm not only giving the economy, as well as provide employment for the graduates, and it is also to improve the poverty and quality of life of our nation through the FELDA scheme. So as a summary, I have actually covered the area of the global context. I've been provided information and insights on the nutritional benefits, as well as the application in foods, as well as the challenges in efforts taking in palm oil industry. So before I end this presentation, I would like to also highlight that we conducted this program. So if you are interested to join as the student ambassador, feel free to text me or email me. So with that, I end my presentation. My email address is here. If you have any questions or any info to share, just drop an email to me. Yeah. Thank you for your attention. Open for the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Noraisyah. We have a few questions here.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with the top one, it was a hot topic about 3-MCPD in palm oil products. It was mentioned that mitigation, why this issue emerges recently about the biscuit.
Oh, okay. So basically, this has been taken up by MPOB. Malaysian Palm Oil has been released a statement in the press lately that actually the palm oil, the manufacturers has to get the source of palm oil from the certified MSPO producers and make sure that the level of 3-MCPD and GE is low. So it is the responsibility of everybody, from the millers, refiners, as well as of the manufacturers, to produce a high quality biscuits. In terms of the make sure that the contaminants and the contaminants are not there in the biscuit. So this is actually have been addressed by MPOB recently, and the efforts has been taken by the Ministry of Health as well to conduct analysis as well as the investigation. So that's about the contaminants. So basically, it's the refiners and millers are working hard towards reducing the contaminants and ensuring that whatever foods that we are consume now from the biscuits is actually safe and quality. Yeah.
So it's basically a quality assurance and standard thing lah.
Yes. So basically, there are few agencies involved: MPOB, MPOC, and also Ministry of Health is taking care of it. So no worries. We are ensuring that whatever contaminant is not there in the biscuits.
All right, thank you. I think we have time for one last question on this. Restriction on the 3-MCPD ppm in 2023 year is the improvement technologies about the mitigation on 3-MCPD just emerged recently. Like, have it just emerged recently? I think.
No. Basically, it has been taken care since beginning, but a lot of measures and effort has been taken to reduce. In fact, we have MPOB, as in the policymakers, in terms of the regulations and ensuring that everybody is working towards reducing the 3-MCPDE and contaminants. It's not only 3-MCPDE and GE, it's other contaminants as well. So this is the responsibility of our MPOB to ensure that it is not just recently. It has been going a lot of the beginning and also like addressing the quality issues, conducting auditing to the refineries and millers to ensure that this contaminants will be not in the finished product, in the end product. So but the 2023 is actually to because the EFSA has been come up with the new regulations, new guidelines saying that 2.5 ppm for 3-MCPDE and GE is 1 ppm, right? So right now we are giving time for the refiners and millers to make sure that they are following the standard as well. But they are actually following the standard, not to say they are not following at all. They're actually following it. But our role is to ensure that the awareness and the mitigation or the effort has been taken very strictly by the manufacturers.
Well, so I hope that answers your question, and thank you, Ms. Noraisyah, for sharing everything, and also for taking time off your busy schedule to educate us about palm oil. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Henry.
Now we will be going for a break, and we will come back at 11:05.
POPSIG is among many special interest groups within the Institution of Chemical Engineers, and POPSIG is led by a group of passionate volunteers consisting of members from industry, academia, as well as student chapters across many universities. And our goal here as a special interest group is essentially to provide a forum for exchanging ideas, for sharing experiences and best practices, as well as encouraging innovation in the palm oil industry. Right. And to achieve this, we conduct each year. These activities include things like technical seminars, workshops, evening webinars, and talks as well. We also have a quarterly newsletter, and we also organize university roadshows as well as site tours and site visits. We hope that our work that we do in POPSIG would impact the efforts in improving sustainability as well as circular economy in the palm oil industry.
There are many people asking, is palm oil sustainable? Well, this topic is very much in debate. I would say most of the stakeholders are putting in their best effort to be sustainable and to meet the challenges of net zero carbon emission. Palm oil is very much known for its highest oil yield per hectare than other oil crops. its early sustainable journey is very much surrounding with the Roundtable Sustainable Palm Oil RSPO back in 2004. With the endless efforts of research and development, the palm oil yield continues to increase, thus lowering its carbon footprint. Last but not least, palm oil processing is no doubt has achieved a certain level of sustainability. However, such work should continue to achieve its next level for the betterment of our future generation. Thank you.
Join us together. Let's make a difference. POPSIG is among many special interest groups within the Institution of Chemical Engineers. And POPSIG is led by a group of passionate volunteers consisting of members from industry, academia, as well as student chapters across many universities. And our goal here as a special interest group is essentially to provide a forum for exchanging ideas, for sharing experiences and best practices, as well as encouraging innovation in the palm oil industry. Right? And to achieve this, we conduct several activities each year. These activities include things like technical seminars, workshops, evening webinars, and talks as well. We also have our quarterly newsletter, and we also organize university roadshows as well as site tours and site visits. We hope that our work that we do in POPSIG would impact the efforts in improving sustainability as well as circular economy in the palm oil industry.
There are many people asking, is palm oil sustainable? Well, this topic is very much in debate. I would say most of the stakeholders are putting in their best effort to be sustainable and to meet the challenges of net zero carbon emission. Palm oil is very much known for its highest oil yield per hectare than other oil crops. Its early sustainable journey is very much surrounding with the Roundtable Sustainable Palm Oil RSPO back in 2004. With the endless efforts of research and development, the palm oil yield continues to increase, thus lowering its carbon footprint. Last but not least, palm oil processing is no doubt has achieved a certain level of sustainability. However, such work should continue to achieve its next level for the betterment of our future generation. Thank you.
Join us together. Let's make a difference. POPSIG is among many special interest groups within the Institution of Chemical Engineers. And POPSIG is led by a group of passionate volunteers consisting of members from industry, academia, as well as student chapters across many universities. And our goal here as a special interest group is essentially to provide a forum for exchanging ideas, for sharing experiences and best practices, as well as encouraging innovation in the palm oil industry. Right? And to achieve this, we conduct several activities each year. These activities include things like technical seminars, workshops, evening webinars, and talks as well. We also have our quarterly newsletter, and we also organize university roadshows as well as site tours and site visits. We hope that our work that we do in POPSIG would impact the efforts in improving sustainability as well as circular economy in the palm oil industry.
There are many people asking, is palm oil sustainable? Well, this topic is very much in debate. I would say most of the stakeholders are putting in their best effort to be sustainable and to meet the challenges of net zero carbon emission. Palm oil is very much known for its highest oil yield per hectare than other oil crops. Its early sustainable journey is very much surrounding with the Roundtable Sustainable Palm Oil RSPO back in 2004. With the endless efforts of research and development, the palm oil yield continues to increase, thus lowering its carbon footprint. Last but not least, palm oil processing is no doubt has achieved a certain level of sustainability. However, such work should continue to achieve its next level for the betterment of our future generation. Thank you.
So welcome back from the break, everyone. Once again, I hope you have had a good break. Before we continue, everyone, please turn on your cameras as we will be having a photography session now. We will take the picture at 11:07. So everyone, please turn on your camera. Taking in 10 seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1, smile. And okay. Thank you everyone. Next, last but not least, we have Engineer Hall here to take us on a virtual tour to a palm oil mill. How exciting is that? Engineer Hall, I pass the mic to you. Thank you.
Thank you for your
continuous emission monitoring system been equipped or the monitor is done manually? I think what this question is asking is about whether it's automated or manual, the monitoring system.
Okay, thank you for the question. It's true, CEMS stands for Continuous Emission Monitoring System, meaning to say, under this compliance condition, the emission monitoring, okay, done in situ, meaning to say done inside the plant, but the result have to be continuous, share and send, okay, to the authority. In this context, authority refer to DOE, Department of Environment. So under answering the question manually or non-manually, hopefully my interpretation is correct, matching to what you are asking. Manually. So manually, I wouldn't say manually or automatically. I would say real time. Okay. So what is happening inside the mill? Okay, in terms of the emission monitoring, concurrently can be monitored. Okay, captured and recorded by the authority. So in this system, of course, we need to have the CCTV system, first thing. And the emission not only monitor on the darkness of the smoke, but under the Clean Air Regulation 2014, CAR, short form Clean Air Regulation 2014, the dust concentration is also equally important and need to be sent under the monitoring CEMS system. So I would say real time, but I really cannot classify the system manually or automatically. So my answer is real time.
Thank you, Engineer Ho. And thank you very much for taking all of us on a virtual site tour to your site. Thank you. We will now have a quiz. Do be reminded to, if you are the winner, do be reminded to take a screenshot of your screen to prove that you are the winner. Later, we will give you the prize if you are the winner. Yeah. All right. Please go to quizzes and join using this code. Thank you. Once again, we will have a prize for the winners of this quiz.
Hey everyone. Yeah, please join the quiz because the prize is going to be very exciting. And Henry, do you want to reveal what are the prizes for this quiz?
Sure. The prizes will be cash vouchers. And we have a 30 ringgit cash voucher, a 20 ringgit and a 10 ringgit for the winners.
Yep. Join now.
Come on, let's wait for another 1 more minute. We'll start at 11:51. Come on, cash vouchers.
It's gonna be very easy. Like the quiz is gonna be like based on what has been presented by all the speakers this morning. Yep. It's no harm joining, just have fun. Yep.
There won't be any penalty if you lose, don't worry. 10 more seconds, come on. It's now 11:51. Ini, would you like to start?
I see there are more people coming in. Maybe 10 seconds.
No problem.
Okay. Okay.
Come on, 13-ringgit cash voucher.
Okay, I guess we'll start now. Okay, so if you haven't joined, you can join. Yeah, you can join while we are starting. Okay, there are more coming in. Okay, I wait for the 25th person. Come.
Come on. Come on. You are going to get a 13-ringgit cash voucher if you win. You can literally like go find but dining with that. Come on, man.
Okay, never mind. I guess we'll start now. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the first question is, these are
the health benefits of palm oil extract.
balanced fatty acid composition, free of trans fat, contains vitamin E, susceptible to oxidation. I think this is
answer and guess. You have 3 seconds left.
Yep. Okay, time's up. So the first one, okay, so the answer is susceptible to oxidation. So let us move on to the second one. You can see that we have 13 players who answered correctly.
Which is the most efficient edible oil crop in the world? Is it soy? Or is it rapeseed? Could it be palm oil or is it sunflower?
This is so obvious, everyone. Okay. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. So, wow, how come there's someone who can answer wrongly one? Okay,
but
now
the answer is palm oil.
Yep. So now we can see that Steven is number 1, Tay is number 2, and Dash is number 3. Oh, Yorkshire is just 10 marks away from number 3.
Come on, 10 points and you'll get like a 10-ringgit cash voucher, 10 more points.
Okay, here comes the 4th and 3 question. The 3rd one or the 4th one? Yeah.
This would be the 3rd question. What is MSPO certification scheme stands for? Is it Malaysian Standard of Palm Oil? Is it Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil? Or is it Malaysian Safety of Palm Oil? Or lastly, could it be Malaysian Super Palm Oil? Which one? We have 7 more seconds.
Okay, I think everyone answered. Yep.
Let's have a look. Oh, 10 answered wrongly.
Yep, so the answer is... Okay,
the answer would be Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil.
Then is still number 1, and then Yakshan is now number 2. Okay, let us move on.
Do remember to take a snapshot if you are one of the top 3s at the end of the quiz.
Okay, so which are the 2 major palm oil producing countries? Sorry.
Is it Indonesia and Malaysia? Is it Indonesia and India? Or is it Malaysia and India? Or could it be Thailand and Singapore? Which one? which are the two major palm oil producing countries?
Okay. Yep, most of you answered correctly. It's Indonesia and Malaysia. And okay, so
it's still number one.
yay. Okay, let us move on.
What is the ratio of saturated and unsaturated fats in palm oil? Is it 30 to 70? Is it 80?
80 to 20, 50 to 50, 60 to 40.
Which one? Six seconds left. 5, 4, 3, and time's up.
Okay.
Oh, looks like most of you answered wrongly, but the answer is 50 to 50. That will be the ratio of saturated to unsaturated fats in palm oil.
Okay, next question.
Which oil crop is the most efficient compared to others? And what's the oil yield in tons per hectare of land? Is it soy? Is it palm oil? And which one? Could it be 38 tons, 3.8 tons per hectare, or is it 4.2 tons per hectare? Five seconds left. 2, 1, and time's up. Oh, looks like 17 of you answered wrongly, but the answer is palm, yes. Only thing is that the land required is 3.8 tons per hectare, or rather the yield.
Wow, okay. Now we move on to our 7th question. We are halfway through the quiz now.
What are the two main types of oil that can be extracted from palm oil fruits? Is it crude palm oil? Is it rapeseed oil? Is it crude palm kernel oil, or is it mongongo oil? Mongongo nut oil. Mongongo, I think.
Yeah, you kindly reminded to choose 2 types of the oil. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it's time's up, and this is right. Yes.
Looks like most of you answered correctly. Nice. Okay, refined palm oil normally undergoes modification process to alter its textural properties to fit specialized purposes. What are the 3 common main types of fat modification processes applied in the palm oil industry? Do remember to choose 3.
No, it's just 3. Correct.
You have 3 seconds left. 2, 1.
Okay. Ooh, quite a number of you answered correctly. So let us see the leaderboard. Oh, Yorkshire is still the top 1, and then Steven is still in the top 3. Ooh. Okay.
Steven is back.
Yep, he's back. Okay.
Please list down 3 items in your daily life that is made with palm oil. Do note that this question is open-ended and it will not be graded, or it won't affect your points. So feel free to go wild and type anything you want. Anything that is made with palm oil.
I think this is lipstick. Ice cream. Ice cream is one of it, right?
Yes, it's one of it.
Okay, time's up. So we have a few responses. Soap, toothpaste, bread, biscuits, Nutella, bread, nasi lemak, nasi goreng, nasi putih, nasi putih. Okay,
It's
and
okay.
then soap, nuggets, cosmetics. Yep. I think, yeah, most of you got it right. Okay, we'll move on to the next one.
Basically, quite a lot of products are made with palm oil.
Yeah.
Next question. Which of the stations below can be found in a palm oil mill? Is it digestion and press station? Could it be a boiler and flue gas station? Is it a SFB and thrashing station, or is it a separation station? Also, this is also a multiple choice, and you can choose more than one answers.
Wow.
5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Let's look at the chart. Yep. So actually, all of them are the stations available in the palm oil mill.
Yep. So the answer would be every single one of the options. Brilliant.
Yep. Yeah. So sorry for delaying. It's about 12:01, and we'll be ending soon.
What is the full name of POPSIG? Is it Palm Oil Products Special Interest Group? Is it Palm Oil Production Special Interest Group? Or is it Palm Oil Processing Special Interest Group? Which one could it be?
If you paid attention to just now Vincent's presentation, you should know this.
Yes. And also during the breaks, there were a few videos played. There were videos played for you.
Yep. Okay, I think time is up.
Let's see what they choose.
The answer is Palm Oil Processing Special Interest Group. Yeah. And we'll move on to the next one.
Next question is, what is the objective of POPSIG? Is it act as a focal point for all those interested in the process aspects of the oil and gas industry? Is it act as a focal point for all those interested in the process aspects of the palm oil industry? Or could it be act as a focal point for all those interested in the process aspects of the agriculture industry? We have 16 seconds. 9, 8,
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Looks like most of you got it correct.
Yeah. So here comes the third questions.
The third last question would be, which of the below are byproducts in a palm oil mill? Is it palm kernel shell? Is it the mesocarp? Is it the empty fruit bunch? Or is it the pome? Pome, yeah.
Yeah, pome.
Pome.
So I think this is also a multiple answer question, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, time's up. Wow, I'm excited to see who's the winner. Let's not look at the leaderboard now.
Yes, we have 2 more questions and we will know the winner soon enough.
Yeah, please be reminded to screenshot if you are the winner.
Select the personal protective equipment used in a palm oil mill. Is it a helmet, a safety vest? Is it safety goggles or is it slippers?
This is very obvious. 2 more person who didn't answer.
2, 1.
Yeah. Ta-da!
Wow, looks like everyone got it correct. Almost.
Yeah.
1 more question. Let's see who is the
This
winner.
is the last question.
Chemical engineering students can only can only work or explore themselves in the technical field of palm oil industry. Is this true or false? Twelve seconds. 11, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1, and false. Chemical engineering students can actually work in a lot of industry.
Yep. So that's the end of today's quiz. Let us see who's the winner.
Yes.
Wow! Wow! XX became the number 1.
Congrats, you have won a 30 ringgit food voucher, and the runner-ups have won a 20 ringgit and a 10 ringgit food voucher. Kindly be reminded to screenshot your username and the entire quizzes thing in order to prove that you are the winner. Also,
Yep. It's not a food voucher. It's a Touch and Go e-voucher. Yeah.
And thank you, Ini. And also, please contact Eric if you are the winner. He will collect the details from you. And do send a screenshot of the winning page, all right, to prove that you're the winner. So now it's 12:07. I would like to take this opportunity to once again thank everyone for coming, and to the speakers, Mr. Vincent, Miss Liew, Miss Noraisyah, and Engineer Hall. I would like to thank all of you for taking time off your schedule to teach us about the palm oil industry. And Professor Law, thank you so much for coming today and giving your warm welcome to us to the event. Everyone, I hope you have a great day and a great afternoon. Thank you. Also, before you leave, do fill in this feedback form as it will help us improve our future events. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
for joining.
Thank you.
Great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.